Hi everyone, it's Sandra from Savvy Teaching Tips again. Don't forget, please like and subscribe below, ring that bell so you'll get updates on all my videos. Today, we're going to talk about what to do when you don't know what to write about. And you know, we get these kids that just, I don't know what to write. So sometimes I'll say to them, well, what did you do yesterday after school? And they'll be like, nothing. And I'll be like, oh, so you sat and stared at the wall all night? And they think that's hilarious. I'm like, well, tell me what you did. So you can do that. But you do get, where I work especially, you get kids who really don't do a lot. Their parents are really busy working 2 jobs. So I'll ask them to dig into their desk and pull something out. And so I went upstairs and my daughter pulled out this puzzle eraser. So this is a puzzle and it's an eraser. So get something out of their desk, pull it out, look at it. Now, pull out the journal, put the date at the top of the page. Remember, we're starting on the left-hand side with our writing, and remind them about, you know, writing on the line, finger spaces, blah, blah, blah. Then take the object and, okay, let's put the object on your desk on top of your journal. Let's look at it. So describe it. And so for me, this puzzle eraser, well, it's shaped like a cube. And I see blue, red, yellow, orange, green, and white, and some numbers on the pieces. So that's kind of interesting to me. So when we're writing, you're going to explain to your student, when we're writing, you're going to explain what you see. So you say to the student, well, you've just told me that it's shaped like a cube and that you see those colors. So why don't we write those down? Let's start it off with an I see. I see a puzzle eraser. And the kid might be like, well, I don't know how to write that. And so of course, if I always say, find the first sound and any other sounds. That's all you need to do. When they come up to see me later, if they really want me to spell the word for them, I will do a quick correction. But normally I want to know what their writing skills are. So I see a puzzle eraser. So now we're going to go back and I'm going to, then I would say to them, okay, so you've written what you see, so tell me the colors you see. And so they then might say, well, I see the colors red, comma, blue, comma, green, comma, and list the colors. Or they can write sentences. I see blue, and I see red, and I see green, or things like that. Then I would remind them, well, good writers reread what they've written to make sure that it makes sense, to make sure it sounds right. So get them to reread it to you. And then I would ask them, after they've done the colors, if they still have room on the page, or if they still haven't written the number of sentences that you're looking for, like I talked in a previous a video about how I like, you know, grade 1 writes 1 sentence, grade 2 writes 2, or if you're later in the year and you want them to write more, then talk about, you know, say something like, oh, my puzzle eraser is fancy, or how does my puzzle eraser smell? Does it smell stinky? Or the puzzle eraser how does it feel? Well, for me, this kind of feels a little squishy because it's an eraser. So I might say this puzzle eraser is squishy. Now, it's super easy for the person to draw it because you just have to look at it and draw it and add the colors. When the child comes up to me to get a star, like I've got my 4 steps there, I'll get them to reread it to me, and we'll talk about, does it make sense? Do they have capitals at the start and at the, are there finger spaces? Do they have periods at the ends? Does it make sense? And then we talk about the date, make sure the date is in the right place, things like that. I'm always checking for those things when they pass things in. If your child is more capable, or it's later in the year and you want them to write more, they could add a concluding sentence to wrap up their description of this object of theirs. And I usually tell them to write about their feelings. How do you feel about this? So for me, a good way to summarize is to say that I think this puzzle eraser is awesome. Or this puzzle eraser is my favorite eraser ever. Or this puzzle eraser is kind of stinky. I think I'm going to throw it out. Just something funny that might make the kids laugh. And it also teaches them a little bit about concluding sentences and summarizing their writing. And that's it. Super simple. And you as a teacher don't have to prep anything. If you check my video on how to write in a journal, you can get a link to a free journal topics that the kids can glue into their journal and write about if you're struggling with that. But I always find that this is a really good, now some kids will get stuck on what to choose. And you may want to have a collection of things that they could choose from in your desk. Or if it depends on where you teach and what the kids have. Don't forget to check out my Instagram, check out my Facebook at Savvy Teaching Tips, and don't forget to check out my TikTok at Savvy Teaching. That's all for this week. Bye.